Hello, good evening and welcome, fellow gardeners. The lady farmer has just made an appearance. Hello, lady farmer.
Hello, I was just going to show you a new Joe Lycett sketch, but I'll leave it. See you later.
Right, okay. Joe Lycett, funny guy. He's a good lad. Right, now on tonight's episode, unfortunately, it was going to be our road trip visit to Nick's allotment, but we've had technical issues with it. I've already texted Nick and told him all about it. We've had issues. You'll see as I explained through the video. But on tonight's episode, we're going to be clearing out another section of the top beds, or the top growing area, creating a new Victorian stroke Edwardian potager bed there. We're going to be getting some more potatoes in the ground. We're going to be doing some more weeding. There's all sorts of stuff we're going to be doing because it's been a really productive day today. But unfortunately, I've not been able to get the Nick video up. Sorry about that, guys, and especially sorry to Nick. I love you. You're a top banana. But it will be rectified by the end of the weekend. Before the next week, we'll get it sorted out. It'll all be explained during this video. But yeah, take care, boys and girls, and I hope you enjoy it. Alright, catch you in a bit. Bye bye. So, I've got to shift the rest of this from there, shift it from there, and level off this path at the back. And then, I'm also going to have to move the Dalek, because we're going to be putting another bed here. Excuse me, the hay fever is atrocious today. There's a nice snutch for you, just to set you off for your evening meal. So I'm going to shift that, get all the compost that's in there currently into the Derby side Dalek, which is there. There's another bag of detritus I'll shift. So yeah, that's the main thing. Well, in fact, I'll do that now. Actually, I'll empty the old compost bin and get it into there, get it all into there. I'm well pleased with that. That's been rotting down over there for the last couple of years, really. We've been topping that off. And it's broken down anaerobically, which is without, it's not been turned over or anything, or even stirred. It's just been piled on top of it. Layers, carbon, and then your greens. So your greens and your browns, layers of those, have created that. And that's rich black gold, boys and girls. So, rather than just decant that into another, we're going to be putting them directly into the pots. Now, we're going to be doing potatoes in these. So, I'm going to be putting about a third of that into the pot on each one, and that's going to be our feed for the potatoes, really, because that'll be really quite rich. And yes, we're transferring them into these pots, and then I'll top it off with a compost later, or even a compost and site-made compost mix. But yeah, I'm quite pleased with that. I am. Let's get it on. I'm here with the professor. Look at this here. We're getting another bed in like we did with these two. But they're all slightly different. All three will be slightly different. That one's done with the brick, all brick. That one's done with the brick and the grey slate paves. You can see there, we're going to get the grey slate paves at the back. But we found these down the side there, didn't we? Out over that way. And so 1.5 of those is giving us 3 feet. So it's going to be 3 feet, whereas these are 4 feet. This is going to be 3 feet. It's going to go up there. And it falls just about spot on to the centre of the path. So where the bricks are going to run, if you follow that path, that's the centre of the 2 plots. It'll land just about right. Maybe 1 inch or 2, but it's not, you'll not be able to tell. That's a well-filled space then up there, isn't it, Mick? And that's where the Dalek was. Like I say, we've cleared this area out now. I'm going to weed membrane it. We'll level it off a little bit more, weed membrane it then, and then we'll finish off at the top there, putting another run of those slates up at the top there, and that'll finally get rid of all our slate flags that we got off Joe. Right, let's crack on. Mick's just correctly pointed out there that once we get that line of bricks in, that'll move that across by about 2.5, 3 inches. Well, 3 inches because they're 3-inch deep bricks. And it'll land absolutely spot on to the centre of the plot. I mean, we planned it that way all along, didn't we, make that? But we just thought we'd...
Don't need tape measures on here.
Yeah. We just thought we'd give the mortals a bit of a breather. So yeah, that's going to run down. Same as this, it's going to run down. That's forming your edging. That's going to be the frontal piece, the frontal elevation, and then the rear elevation at the back is going to be made up by these. You shall see in a minute. So it's coming along nicely. We've got that row of soldiers down the left hand side now. Mick's just a bit top. We're seating these two at the front there. Because that's broke, it doesn't quite fit right, but there's nothing you can do about that, and we're not bothered about it anyway. It's an allotment plot, isn't it, guys? It's looking good though. Once that last brick run is in there, it'll look absolutely spot on. They're getting better every time, these. Hello, brother Philo here. Now my brother Bilo up at the plots forgot to thank Mick. Well, he did thank him, but he didn't thank him on camera. Magical Mick Derbyshire of Old Mac Derby's Farm, once again, thank you very much, mate. We help each other out down in the Eden plots. Wigan boys, us. Wigan born, Wigan bred. Wigan born, Wigan bred. Strong in th' arm, thick in th' head. But we're not that thick. We can grow vegetables. Right, back to the allotment with my friend Bilo, my favourite brother. So there we have bed number 3, and I think it's looking fine and dandy at that. I've got the weed membrane down, a couple of layers. I'll straighten up the walls to the bed as it gets filled, and I can fill against each side then and get them seated properly. But yeah, that's the third of 3 on the lady farmer's side. There was no growing space here about 2 weeks ago, and now there is. We've got that back there as well. I'm going to level all that off, and I'm going to get the flags on that, the paving slabs on the back there, but I've got to clear all that out. I think I will continue on with this today and see what I can get done, clear all those bricks out from the back there and get the flags in if possible at the back. But yeah, I'm going to now fill that with the compost that we've harvested from the Dalek, which is there, and then give it a good dousing to get rid of all those flaming ants, get it all sodden, and then job's a good one. And there we go, folks. That's been thoroughly watered, that as well, because I'm in really drowned in water because I want to get rid of those ants. So hopefully that may well do the trick. I'm not going to plant that up, not this week anyway. I am going to water that bed thoroughly every time I come down, in the hope that the ants will move their chambers. I just want them gone, really, the ants. I don't want to cause them too many issues, but I'm going to have to, because the ants are going to be a pain in the backside otherwise. Right, I'm going to weed that bed now. Look at all those mare's tails. Are they mare's tails or are they horse's tails? Apparently mare's tails are the flowering variety. But whichever they are, they're moving, they're going. Not sure you can make him out there, but that young robin's been perched near me all day watching what I'm up to. Honestly, he's been there since about 10 o'clock this morning. Oh, he's off now. He's been bobbing around here all morning. Yeah, they're looking alright, these beds. I like them. Just weeded that after a fashion. Got all the horses' tails there, or mare's tails, or whatever they may be. I think the horses' tails. Never seen them flower. Mind you, they never get a chance on here. I'm always attacking them first. I'll put those potatoes back in a sec. These are some more Red Dukes of York that have burst through. No action on these ones as yet at the back, but they were only put in last week. Yeah, but they're coming through. Lovely. Got to get these babies out. Got some Charlotte there. We've also got some Red Dukes of York left. And they're going to get soft or hard or whatever these are. They're not getting any fitter, these potatoes. So we're going to get them in the ground right now. If I don't do it now, it's not going to happen. Right. So about a third of the compost that was out of the Dalek went into these. And these are filled. Just shy of a third, I think, the way up. They're going to receive some more potatoes. So I'm going to get a production line going at the front. And we'll do that. We'll top them up and get them planted in. I've also decided to take the rest of these garlic out. Give it another weeding. Look at the bindweed wrapping around the swine. Now we don't have any rust on those, but I'm thinking they're going to be ready now because they went in at the same time as the garlic that we took the other day. I'll check. I'll do one and see how we get. In fact, I'll do it now. I might as well do it now. Let's go for this one. It's near as damn it, isn't it? A bit of excavation work. See. No. That's just one big bulb, that, isn't it? These haven't split for some reason, these ones. Whereas the other ones did split. Which means, in my estimation, we've got a bit of a microclimate up here where it doesn't get as cold as it does down there. Now I know cold air does tend to sink. So it is going to be a little bit cooler down this end. But I wouldn't have thought it would have been too different really, because it's only about, what, half a metre lower here than it is there. But all these ones, as you saw the other day, came out fantastically well. In fact, I've got them drying up now. I didn't show you that actually. I've got them curing off in here. So they're curing in here. These will all turn brown like that and paper like, and then they're ready for platting up. I am going to take these out because I need to get the spuds in. I'm going to leave the elephant garlic there at the top, but I'm going to get this space cleared off because I can get another 16 potatoes in there. And I need to, I've got to, I have to, I must. Yeah, bit of windborne rust fungus if it'll focus. Yeah. That's my excuse and I'm sticking to it. Plenty of garlic. I think there's only 2 that we've lost out of the 30. From what I can gather. This one will have to be eaten quick. Because you can see again it's split and burst its britches and divided up into individual cloves. A lot of them are in individual cloves. I thought they were mostly ball ones, but I think they're just thick-skinned. So I'm going to continue to sort of weed in this bed. I've done that side. I'm going to do that side, get rid of the horse's tails and the bindweed. Yeah, I'll crack on with that. Decent bit of weed in that. In the bed, obviously, on the outskirts, not so much. That's all the bloody horse's tail. Mostly horse's tail. But there is significant amounts of bindweed in there as well. So I'm just going to have to keep on top of it. It's all you can do, really. Better. They're the devil's weeds. The devil's weeds. Horse's tails and bindweed. Sent to try us. Anyway, we've got the garlic there, that's out. I better get some potatoes done as well. So we're going to do the production line, the potato production line, with those buckets there. 30 of. Let's get cracking. I'll get them down to the lane. And we'll start from there. Right, so there's 20 buckets there that are around a third filled. I put a small handful of bloodfish and bone into each one of them, as you can see. I'm then going to stir it up with my hands, mix it all in together, put the potato in the middle, and then top it off with the standard compost. I've got these 6 over here. These are going to have the Charlotte new potatoes in. Same situation, same setup. but they're going to have the Charlottes in. Those are Red Dukes of York, and there's, by happy happenstance, there's 20 of them. One of them's a love heart. Look at that. That's going to go in the fancy bucket. That's the fancy ribbed bucket. Ribbed for her pleasure. So I'm going to mix that up and bang them in. So it's all been thoroughly mixed in now with the mitt, and now it's in with the spuds, and we'll start off with this one, with the heart-shaped one. That's thoroughly mixed in. Look at that. That's not very thoroughly mixed in. That'll do. Heart-shaped one. Pop in the middle there. And then we're going to work our way all along, getting all of those potatoes into all of those buckets. And then we'll give them a good water. And that's the last water they're going to get until the spritz burst through the top. It's as easy as that. Okay, so there we go. They're all in. Those are the Red Dukes of York. And these are the Charlotte. All that remains now, the reason I've not got 30, I've only got 26, is because 4 of the buckets had the ants in. Now they've disappeared below ground level again now, but you can see there's a little fella moving his larvae around. Now what I'm going to do with those ones is, I'm not going to reintroduce them to the plot, I'm going to take them outside and throw them in the woods there. They'll be perfectly happy there, I think. But I'm going to top off these buckets now with all the compost that we've got. I suspect it's probably going to take about 3 bags of the compost to completely fill those. 3 to 4, but we'll see how we get on. That bag's just split, so I'm going to use that bag for those 6. So we'll see how we get on, actually. I'll fill them up. Like I say, they're about 1/4 to 1/3 full. I'll fill them all up with the one bag, and then we'll see how we get on with that. Okay, they're all full. And it's took just over, well, just under 3 bags actually. There's probably about a good bucket's worth left in there, which means by using our own compost that we've harvested today from the old Dalek, in my own shadow again there, guys, aren't I? We've saved about a bag's worth at least of compost, putting them in there, and also filled that new bed up at the top for the leeks. So that's fine and dandy, innit? Probably saved about, I don't know, 40 quid there, altogether, all in all. I've got to get out of my shadow. I've not got my happy hat on either. Anyway, so before I actually water those up, I'm going to take them to where they're going, temporarily at least, which is down there where the Harris fencing was. So I'm going to put them down there if they'll fit. I've got to get weed membrane or plastic underneath that to stop the bindweed and horse's tail coming through it, but for the time being, just to get them off the lane, that's where they're going. And I'll be doing a bit of a scoop up and a sweep up as well, just so I'm a good neighbour and not my usual bloody Asbo. Right, let's get it on. Ta-da! They're going to be fine there for about, well, the next few days until I can get something sorted out for the weed membranes underneath. That will need to be done because I'm going to be watering those. I've been filling up my tank over there, my water butt, because we've been using that for watering up, and we haven't had any rain for about a week now, and it's been intensely hot. So that was empty. So that's being filled up. While I've got the hose out, I'm going to water those in, give them the first watering. Because they need it. I mean, it's 6 o'clock at night now, 6 o'clock in the evening, and it's still red hot. I bet I'm as brown as a berry, or as red as a berry. Look at that contrast between the pasty white northern European skin and the sunburnt Mediterranean look. I've had factor 50 on today. It's just very, very hot. Look at this bed. Do you know, I swear to God, I swear to the Almighty Father that I weeded that bed last week and there wasn't a single weed. You'll vouch for me on that, hopefully, guys, because you'd have seen it. That was no more than 10 days ago, that, when all these beds were thoroughly and completely weeded. On this side, anyway. But yeah, bloody bindweed and horse's tail, the devil's weeds, the devil's plants, straight from Satan's bottom. They come, boys and girls. Right, I'm going to water these up now, get them watered in, and then I'll show you what I've done with me tomatoes. I've got some tomatoes as back fillers because the intense heat, I think, has killed off 6 of my sun gold. So last weekend, if you remember, we were away for 3 days down in the Midlands, and because of the intense heat over those 3 days, I think that the leaf curls just got beyond a joke. In fact, it may be terminal because it's on the tips, you see. I am going to try and rescue it. The only final thing I can think of is giving it a foliar spraying, a mist spraying. A mix suggested. Adding a little bit of, what do you call it, Epsom salts in. If anybody else has got any ideas, see the curled and the browned, you see. And that's the heat. It must purely be the intense heat that we've had. See these in here? These are in the lady farmer's greenhouse. She's got green fingers by proxy here. You never see her. But if you look at these, it's doing alright. They're doing good, aren't they? Most of these cucumbers are doing fine and dandy. These peppers are doing a bit wilty. But again, that's because it's been very hot today. But they're not looking too bad, are they? They're looking alright. They're going to survive, aren't they? Getting flowers on them. We're getting peppers on them in a bit. She's doing really well on this side. And the actual vigour of the plants is streaks ahead. It's streaks ahead of these. I mean, that cuke's alright, isn't it? We've got a little flower, I think, coming, have we? Yes, we have. Down there. Getting cukes on there shortly, but yeah. I've got these little rings as well. It's just basically it's the wire that is in a ring format. And they're only a quid for about 200, which are brilliant, aren't they? Paul Green Nurseries. But yeah, I'm not sure, you know. I think they might be... because they've not been overwatered, and I don't think they've been underwatered, to be honest. I think it's just been the intense heat. I mean, as soon as I came back, if you remember, I opened up all the vents, opened the doors, and I've left those all open. We've got these peppers here, look. Doesn't say what they are. I think the bellboy peppers off Top Tips Terry Maguire, who will try and have a catch up if we can this weekend. Although I'm going down to Windsor again on Sunday. I'm taking Daryl's kids back to Windsor. I'm such a fantastic person, me. I'm a really kind-hearted, good Samaritan. Those are the garlic. Yeah, so on Sunday there won't be much happening, I don't think. Another thing is, yesterday we went down seeing Nick at Nick's Allotment Diary. We went down to Cheshire to see Nick. And I spent we did a good half-an-hour interview, myself and Nick, and I had a good chat. But for some reason, YouTube isn't liking it. And it says it's still processing. It was supposed to be up last night at 12 o'clock. I set it for 12 o'clock. Now, I've been checking all day on my phone and it says it's still processing. So hopefully, fingers crossed, I can resolve that and we can get it up tonight. But if not, I'll have to redo it. I'll have to do it again and get it up some other time over the weekend. So if you're watching, Nick, I haven't forgot you. Honest to God, I don't know what's going on with it. I know I sent you a text, didn't I, earlier on about it, but we'll see what we can do. I know when we were down there with Nick, the phone overheated and it cut itself off. Now, whether or not that's had something to do with it, I don't know, but it's been processing all night and all day. I might have to redo that. If I do, it'll either be on tomorrow or on Saturday. So if it's not on before this one goes up, this one should be going up tonight at around about 8:30. So if it's not up for then, that means I've had to redo it, Nick, and I'm going to get it up for you either tomorrow or Sunday. because I'm going to be busy again tomorrow, unfortunately. Well, when I say unfortunately, it's one of them things, isn't it? I'm going to be down here for about 4 hours tomorrow, and then tomorrow afternoon we're going to go out with the kids and spend time with the family and friends, because you've got to do. You can't just spend 24/7 down at these plots. You'll have no kids, you'll have no marriage left. That's one thing you've got to watch. I was speaking about this before, about the work-life plot balance on a previous episode, and when you are working full-time and you get a bit of chance for holiday, you've got to take it. You can't spend all your time down here, but if you've got 2 plots the size of the plots that we've got, this is something you need to bear in mind. Each one of the plots, so if you say we've got a 70 foot by 20 foot plot on this side, you will need to donate at least 8 hours a week to that to keep on top of it. I haven't been donating quite that of late because of work commitments and stuff like that. I haven't had the chance to completely do it. That's why we've got the weeds and we've got the clutter and the detritus. So anyway, hopefully most of that will be rectified. Enough doom and gloom, guys. I'm going to show you these beautiful new tomatoes I've got. Right, so I've moved them into here because these were perfect this morning when Top Tips Terry Maguire gave them to me, these Alicante. And over the space of one morning and about an hour and a half in the afternoon, they were starting to dry out and get the leaf curl on them, which is not good. These are the sun goals that were taken off as spurs from the original plants. And again, we're getting it's the heat, it's the temperature, the shock in them. We're getting flowers on too early. I mean, these were taken off as suckers from the main plant, so that's probably another reason why we're getting getting the flower on them. But that's a crucial thing, guys. I'm going to have to get some shade cloth in here as well. But what I'm doing is, overnight, I'm going to leave this all wide open. I need Joe as well. I need Uncle Joe from Mexico, because these are showing too much rampants, these, and no grape action. So that's something I'm going to pick up with Joe if he's on tomorrow. Unfortunately, as I say, I'm not going to be here on the weekend. But the door's going to be left wide open. This is going to be open at the top. I'm going to get some shade cloth and put that on. But yeah, I've got some nice tomatoes there. These are called the Yellow Queen tomatoes, these. Yellow Queen. That's another one of them Alicante. Top Tips Terry gave us 6 of them Alicante. Now, I know what you're saying. You're going to say you've got them in the water. You're giving them too much water. But I'm not going to bother. I'm just going to keep an eye on that and keep a small amount of water in there. It's just that with them being in the Tiki Tunnel 1, and they've been intensely punished by the sun, I'm just giving them a drink there overnight. I'm not going to top it up again tomorrow. I'm going to leave it. Every couple of days I'll give them a top up, I think. But it's a fine balancing act, that, you know, between too much and too little. You need to have consistent damp soil, but not too wet, because you'll get the root rot. It's never had any trouble really with tomatoes. I've just been, I guess, lucky. Oh, it's not been so intense. In fact, the heat's not been so intense at the start of June since we got these plots. It's not been this hot. It's been like 18, 19 degrees, and then into July it gets a little bit warmer. Then August is usually the hot time. So maybe that's got something to do with it. But anyway, all the vents are open now. It's as much as I can do. I'm going to leave the doors open as well. A victim of my own success with these polytulls. Right. Let's water them spuds up and then I'm off. These are ornamental onions, and the bees love them. Flowering onions, ornamental alliums. An iris come out there. Yay! There's our bee, our friend the bee. That's my lasagna, flowering lasagna bucket. They're all coming through. We've had quite a few different species coming through. Started off with the narcissus, I think. And yeah, we're getting all sorts coming up. Those are the flowering alliums. Got the iris there. I like the blue iris. Got the little bits and pieces. Can't remember exactly what I put in there, but they look nice. They're a welcome addition. A welcome addition to the plot. Okay, so I hope you'll agree we've had another rather productive day down in Eden. I do like those beds. You can get them all in. No, not quite. Well, there they are. A sort of Victorian stroke Edwardian pottage area really at the top. I'm going to sort these potatoes out. I've given them a water as well while I had the chance. If we don't get potatoes off this plot this year, there's something going on, isn't there? Because we've got oodles. We have oodles, Clarice. Where is Clarice as well, by the way? Clarice is French garden or whatever she's calling herself these days. Clarice, how now, Clarice? Right, if I don't see you through the week, I'll see you through the window, but I'll probably be seeing you tomorrow. And hopefully you'll be seeing Nick as well, shortly. From Nick's Allotment Diary. And yeah, keep growing with your heads down. Take care of yourselves and each other. And remember, we love you all. Tatty bye, boys and girls. Have a wonderful rest of the weekend. I've had a long weekend. I've had about 3 or 4 days longer than you lot. Oh, I forgot to. I'm gonna have to do that, aren't I? I'm gonna have to put the holes away. Right. See you later, boys and girls. Bye bye now. Love you all. See you later. So yeah, I've just got back to the homestead, and that is the video that me and Nick did. Gardening road trip to Nick's Allotment Diary. And it's still saying it's processing. It's 100% uploaded, but that must have been processing now for coming up for 20 hours. So what I'm going to have to do is, I'm afraid, I'm going to have to delete that and then try again. Sorry, I'm going to have to do it again, that. I'll delete it. I've still got it. I've still got the video. But yeah, it's not. There's something it doesn't like there, so we'll have to sort that out. Yeah, so sorry about that, Nick. I'm afraid I'm going to have to redo or re-edit the entire video and then get it up, which I will be doing. I'll be doing that either tonight or tomorrow, but it'll be up for definitely on Sunday. I'm going down to Windsor on Sunday, but I'll make sure that when I get back, that's the first thing that we do. I'm going to edit it tonight, while the other one, this one, is uploading, and then I'll try and get it sorted out. That mate, I don't know what happened to it, but YouTube didn't like it. That's for sure. And we weren't cursing, we weren't effing and blinding at all. It was a rather pleasant morning, but yeah, we'll get it up there. We'll get it sorted. Thanks very much, guys, and God bless you, Nick. See you later, mate. Keep growing with your heads down, boys and girls, and remember, we love you all. If you're a lady, you're a fantastic, fragrant and beautiful, vivacious woman. If you're a gentleman, you're masculine, virile, forthright, and of good character and good courage. I've just been on a couple of cans in the garden, as you can probably tell. It's about 9 o'clock now. I'm going to try and get this edited and get it out the door for about 10:30 tonight. Okay, I'll see you later, boys and girls. Have a cracking rest of the weekend, and we love you all. Bye bye now. Keep growing with your heads down.